like we are human, right? I mean, we are. It's normal to be feeling this way in response to such a period of uncertainty, right? I mean,
Yes, super normal. Yeah, yeah. And,
it
but
seems like, I mean, I know you're a father. I'm a father of two, and my kids are a little bit younger than yours, and I find myself at times a little bit concerned, a bit worried about this uncertainty and what this means for not only this generation, but particularly the generation ahead, and my kids and their kids, and um, you know, what do we do with that? Where do we go with that? You know, it seems hard to avoid, right? The
it
sense
is
of
hard.
wow, it's a lot.
I always ask myself that, oh, the world that we're living for our children, or the and how responsible we are about all of that. And what I decided in terms of my children, which I'm not sure if I do a good job or not, because that's I'm not very sure. I do what I can. It's for me teaching them the awareness and how those things influence their own, their own emotions, all right, and what they do with the emotions. um and yeah, maybe, giving them the awareness that they have choices as well there, that
Mm.
and and
Well, we might be far away, but it's still our world. You know, it's still
yes, yes,
we're talking about people here, right?
of course.
That are being affected every day, and if it's not conflict and war, it's AI, and it's the 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 uncertainties there, and the news and the stories that the news talks about in terms of what that looks like for job security going forward and things like that, and automation. And you can't help but think that the horrible what if question, what if this happens, and what does that look like for my children, let alone for me, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I guess one thing that I really find helpful whenever I catch myself in those moments of what if, is to kind of the what if, and my mind can kind of get a bit carried away and go down that rabbit hole, but of catastrophizing, all the potential things that could go wrong as a result of this. I like to just reframe that question and go, instead of what if, it's like what is. And just that word, when I say that back to myself, it helps me to realize in that moment that I'm potentially getting carried away with myself. And then it also helps me just to bring things back into perspective, because and social media and everything else. I mean, it's not just the news, it's social media. I mean, you don't have to switch on the news anymore to get news. And sometimes you get news when you weren't even looking for news, right? Um, those influences can really affect your state of mind, can really affect how you feel and how you look at the world and how you look at your day. And it's easy for us to become angry, frustrated, anxious, despondent when we're living in a world that just seems to be like, according to what we see and what we hear through the various sources around us, bad news, like a world on edge, right? Wow. So for me, it's always helpful, I think, to come back to reframing that question and going, okay, so what can I influence? And